All right, here we are for round 3. A pretty solid hand. Lost that last game. Didn't draw any of our rares, which, you know, our deck is not great without the rares. Opponent's on 5. Wow. Not really the greatest draft. Kind of, I don't normally get tilted. Just the whole like him double queuing down to like 2 minutes only to have an insane hand and crush me was not that pleasing. I think we play the Poisoner here. If he doesn't have a 2-drop or has a good 2-drop, I don't mind attacking into it. Looks like he doesn't have a 2-drop at all. So the question is, do I play the Schematic or do I hold up Metallic Rebuke? If he does nothing, it's not great. But if I can counter like a Rhino or any 3-drop, I think it's good. And I'm gonna be tapping out for a while. So I think we just pass. As strange as that seems. Wow, that card just does nothing. But if I draw a land, he's on 5 cards. I don't mind taking a turn off. It's not like the Schematic gives me that much of a big board advantage. It's pretty awkward. It's fine. I mean, we could have had it up this turn, but we don't. I think that now that I'm pinched on mana, like, and his best play was playing the Solvent. If he just doesn't draw a land, which he's only about 50-50 to do, he just plays nothing. So like we're in a weird spot where he can't, you know, holding up the Rebuke again just makes such little sense because he's not even that likely to do anything on his turn. I'm just gonna play this creature. Don't think he can possibly win after missing land drops. Let's see what he's got here. It's a little bit annoying. Blocks the Screecher pretty well. But I'm fine with the trade because he's got so few resources, and I'm just going to play the Plunderer now and hold up Rebuke. He's already at 13 too, wow. Countering any card here, unless my opponent mind rots himself. Looks like he's got Foundry Assembler. Not even really good, but this just gets me in so much damage to the point where he can pretty easily get tempoed out. Kind of an interesting draw. I could have played that in order to get additional energy, but I think I like just playing the Cogwork Assembler a little better. It's just so much more mana efficient. It's possible I could have played the Implement, but I guess there's a lot of 5-drops, 4 and 5-drops you can play that just make the Assembler irrelevant. So maybe playing the Turtle is okay. Because if I play the Turtle, then if he doesn't play something with 4 power, I just kind of go off with the Plunderer plus Turtle. Caravan plus Assembler. Okay. It's a pretty good draw. I think we just sack the Schematic. Attack with these guys. He blocks a Servo, goes to 2 life. Oh, he blocks this. Goes to 3 life. Or 4 life, sorry. I think he should block a Servo. I don't think there's really much in the format that can get him out of this, but he just scoops. Yeah, I don't really think there's much he could do there. Didn't really see much, but we did see a Cultivator's Caravan. I don't really have any, like, appetites or anything like that. I think we keep this hand. It's not that strong because we don't have any black mana, which is kind of relevant. And we can't stop his beatdowns, but just double Confiscation Coup plus a draw spell. We can fall behind and easily stay in it. So that's why I like this hand. Like, double coup is just so sick, you know? If I get to 5 at any point, we're in really great shape. Do I block here? He could have that 2/2 that draws him a card. I think I'll take it one time. Not to mention I have the Rebuke in my hand. I don't really want him to draw a free card. Though I think I'm going to have to block eventually. He does have it, so a good no block. The fact that he had to play it is actually pretty nice for us. He had no other 2-drop, because now I can block the servo if I feel like it. I only have 1 improvised card in my hand, and I don't need it. And he's a turn before where he can cast something like Lifecrafter's Cavalry. But I have Rebuke anyway, so even if he's got another Revolt card, I have that covered. Okay, that resolves. One of the few cards I'll just not counter there. I think I discard Tidy. Actually, no. Maybe I'm supposed to discard like one of these high-end creatures. Tidy could actually catch me up in a game where I'm behind. And my opponent is playing a green deck. Yeah, we'll counter that. If I draw a land, I get Implement, which should help me get there. Now if I draw another land, I can actually just play Bastion Inventor. Though, if not, I can go like draw 2, play a land, like use Aether Trade Winds. Opponent is really going off here. Never seen that play before. That's for sure. Not like it's bad. I mean, he just turned his Select for an Inspection into like an opt, basically. Did not draw land, so we just draw 2. Draw a Swamp. So I think I just play the Cogwork Assembler out because it blocks. I could play the Defiant Salvager out and make it a 3/3. That can be annoying with this schematic. So, oh, that's a pretty solid draw. I think I just play that, and then I play the Bastion Inventor. I could let him make a few 1/1s, though. Like, I think what I'm going to be doing is powerful enough to beat that. Like the Defiant Salvager. It does block the Salvager forever, but I can just Confiscation Coup his Assembler. I could even Confiscation Coup his Servo Schematic once I draw the land. I don't think him making a 1/1 every turn is going to be enough, because eventually I'm going to be attacking him for enough where it just doesn't do anything. Swamp is good. This is why I think I should have kept Tidy in my hand. Did I have this in my hand? I don't think I did when I discarded the Tidy. It's fine. Let's start with an attack with the Inventor. Having 2 coups is so sick, because I can basically just afford to spew one off. I'll let him make a few 1/1s. I think just putting the threats on the board is nice. I don't really want a Confiscation Coup as Assembler. And a 1/1 every turn, you know, like I said, he can't do that and play something. So if I just find myself ahead enough on board, it's just not going to matter. And like next turn, if I draw land, I can play Salvager. I can play Salvager and start sacking these schematics. Not to mention, when I get to 7, I can go off with Salvager plus schematic and making more 1/1s than he does. So he's going to have to do something more impressive than Cogwork plus schematic to win this. Ooh, he's got more self-assemblers in his deck. That's pretty good. Oh, right, we knew that he had the Foundry Assembler. He probably has a self-assembler. Like, this card is not a card that you put in your deck that often. Though, if he had a self-assembler, he'd probably get it over this. So maybe he doesn't. Yeah, this was a bad play. I actually just forgot that this was the beginning of the next end step. So I should have Confiscation Queued his Assembler. But it's okay. Mistakes were made. Really bad play on my part. Not really the end of the world or anything. I'm probably going to have to chump with Servo. Because I knew that he had another assembly worker in his deck, so I should have stolen this beforehand. Really sloppy play on my part, honestly. Really sloppy play. still feel like I'm in great shape. That's the kind of play I've been making, though. Just the obvious, like, not thinking things through kind of play. I will steal this, though. And I think without that, we're pretty safe. And now I have an extra energy, so I can take the Tusker if I want it. And 2 Cogwork Assemblers, which makes me, like... I can block without risking losing one, basically. Ooh, Universal Solvent's a pretty solid draw. That's actually pretty good with the Cogworkers Assembler, because you can, like, end of turn make it, which is pretty nice. How much do I want to play into that? I think I'm just going to play my creatures. Plunder doesn't do much against the Elite, but I think I'll sacrifice one of these. And just pass. See if he uses the Selvin end of turn. He might not, but it's just so much mana to use it that he might want to use it on an attack to break up double blocks. Still don't really have an attack here. I can Confiscation Coup the Tusker. Which is probably just worth it. Yeah, that's probably just worth it. He's not playing a color with a Wrath or anything. There's nothing for me to play around. Double Confiscation Coup is just so sick. I think I'm just going to end this game before he can do anything wacky. Not that I think there's anything he can do, but... I never even... Yeah, he scoops. Alright, good beats. Opponent's last deck looked bad at first, but actually was kind of cool. Like, was really good with the assemblers. Really wish I could have won that second one, but there's just nothing I can do. Like, I didn't even really flood out in that game against the white-black guy. He just kept playing relevant spells all game and had a pacification array, which I can't actually kill, so... not bad. Best deck I've drafted for sure. Can't really say I'm that disappointed because nothing that happened was unreasonable. So, alright, thanks for tuning in. And make sure you check out my article on TCGplayer.com if you're just watching this on YouTube. And take it easy.